So the trip from Jerusalem to the Promised Land had lots of difficulties. And so in 1 Nephi chapter 17, verse 2, Nephi says, "And so great were the blessings of the Lord upon us, that while we did live upon raw meat in the wilderness, our women did give plenty of suck for their children, and were strong, yea, even like unto the men, and they began to bear their journeyings without murmurings." So what sticks out to a lot of people here is Nephi's perspective, that he is viewing the fact that they are surviving on raw meat as a blessing of the Lord, that there's a perspective here that he's recognizing that this is miraculous, that they are not eating a lot, and yet they are strong and able to raise children and surviving, and that their survival is a miracle, even in their difficulties, right? But there's lots of people who don't view these as blessings of the Lord. They see their challenges and they see hardship, right? And so you get that perspective from Laman and Lemuel. You'll see it in verses 20 to 22. This is Laman and Lemuel talking to Nephi, and he says, "And thou art like unto our father, led away by the foolish imaginations of his heart. Yea, he hath led us out of the land of Jerusalem, and we have wandered in the wilderness for these many years. And our women have toiled, being big with child, and they have borne children in the wilderness, and suffered all things, save it were death. And it would have been better that they had died before they had come out of Jerusalem, than to have suffered these afflictions. Behold, these many years we have suffered in the wilderness, which time we might have enjoyed our possessions, and the land of our inheritance, yea, and we might have been happy. And we know that the people who were in the land of Jerusalem were a righteous people, for they kept the statutes and judgments of the Lord, and all his commandments according to the law of Moses. Wherefore we know that they are a righteous people. And our father hath judged them, and hath led us away, because we would hearken unto his words. Yea, and our brother is like unto him. And after this manner of language did my brethren murmur and complain against us." So you can see the difference in perspectives. Laman and Lemuel and Nephi are experiencing the same things. They're on the same trip. They're doing the same things. Nephi is seeing blessings, and Laman and Lemuel are seeing hardships and suffering, and they are both correct. Both those things are happening. Laman and Lemuel are right. They did suffer a lot, and it was hard. And I don't know if they were right that the people in Jerusalem were righteous, or that it would have been better that they had died before they came out of Jerusalem, but they're right that it was hard and that they were suffering. And Nephi was also right that God was blessing them, that they were surviving in a circumstance where most people would not survive, and that is a blessing. And that is kind of how faith works. The same things happen to people with faith and without faith. It rains on the just and the unjust. But people with faith interpret the rain differently. They interpret the evidence in a way that draws them closer to God. And the people without faith interpret the evidence in a way that draws them farther away from God and makes them angrier. And so the people with faith feel supported and loved by God, and the people without faith feel angry and bitter and often turn to violence, as Laman and Lemuel will turn to. So, anyways, just a thought on perspective.